All right, guys, welcome back. We are going to tie up the copper john today. This fly weighs about 15 pounds. It's an awesome, really heavy fly. So, if you're fishing fast water, you need something that's going to get down quickly. This is a great little fly. This one we're tying on this is on where the heck is it? This is a 1710 Daiichi hook, wet nymph hook. It's a 2x long hook, which is just about right for the proportions of this fly. Already got a tungsten bead on it, and I've taken a few wraps of lead-free wire. This one's I'm gonna use 70 UTC denier. I like the denier thread anytime you got to build up a tapered body, like you do on this one, and this one just helps because the thread lays quite flat and gives you a chance to build up the body. So we'll start our thread right behind the wire, and then we'll take a few wraps over the wire just to secure it down. We're going to take our thread to the back, and the tail of this fly is made up of goose buyouts. And goose buyouts are a little bit tricky to work with, but something that I learned a while ago is you want the buyouts to kind of flare out, so it gives it the look of a stonefly nymph tail, which kind of forks as it comes out. And it's not easy to do that with the buyouts. They do kind of naturally have a bend to them, but if you can build up a little bit of a thread bump in the back, doesn't have to be very big. You just want to wrap the thread over itself, give it a little bit of a butt back there, and then we're going to lay the goose buyouts down and alongside that bump, and it should help to get the buyouts to kind of flare out. So let me grab a hold of these guys. So they do have a bend to them. So I'm gonna see if I can get them lined up here real quick. There we go. They do have a bend to them, so you can see there that they do kind of bend outwards away from each other, which is good. And when I lay these down, I'm gonna tie right over the top. Couple light wraps, and then we're just gonna pull them to the direction that we want them, and then we'll wrap down over the top, and I'll show you what we ended up with here. All right, let's get that tied down. You should have, if you can see that, we should have a tail that is fairly split. Okay, now the abdomen of this fly is made up of copper wire. So I'm gonna grab, for this one, I'm using medium copper wire. This is a size 14, so it's not a big one, so the medium copper wire usually works just about right. We're going to tie that down now before we get ready to build up our tapered body. And now is when we get that tied down tight, and then we're just going to taper everything up to right behind where the lead wire is, and that should give the body a nice look to it. Should be as uniform as possible, but we definitely want it getting a bit bigger as it gets up towards the thorax of the fly. And we're pretty close there. Do it enough times, you just kind of get a feel for how much you need to add in certain spots. That should be pretty good. Okay, now we're gonna try to wrap. We're not ribbing the fly, so we're going to try to wrap one wrap right after another. our way forward, right up to where we want the thorax to begin. Make a few tight wraps there to helicopter off the wire. Okay, now the next part is to build in our wing case. So I'm going to use, you can use a lot of different things for the wing case on this one. You can use like a scud back or some sort of a synthetic, but for this one I'm just going to use pheasant tail. I like the look of the pheasant tail. And I don't need much. I'll wrap peacock curl for the thorax. I usually only need this size fly. You probably only need 2, maybe even get away with 1. I'll use a couple. And there we go. All right, and then make a few wraps of the peacock curl. And after that, the peacock curl is quite brittle, so we'll take a couple more wraps just right through the middle of it. That'll kind of secure everything down. Pull over our wing case. A few wraps there. And the last part, if you want to tie in wings, tie in your wings at this point. I'm using some little tiny feathers that I don't even know where I got these feathers from, but they work really well for the legs of this fly. And I just stripped everything down, trimmed out the center of the feather, and then we're just going to lay that down on both sides of the. It's a little too much there. There we go. Let's see what that feather looks like. Now we're just going to lay it down on both sides of the fly. Make sure it lays down right. Couple light wraps. Make sure it's right where we want it. Go. A couple hard wraps before you cut it off. All right, there we go. Throw on a whip finish. All right, that is a cool little copper john. Take a look at that fly as it comes around. The legs might be just a tad bit long there, but that's I don't think the fish are going to care much. That's the copper john. Super cool little fly. You know, if John Barr came up with it, it's probably works well. So get out there, type a bunch, and good luck with it. Thanks for watching.